my microphone was turned off. So I want to talk about staying oh, okay, I know what happened. Got it. Geez, this is just, the universe wants me to not get this done. Okay. So let's start this again. What I wanted to talk about was staying consistent on your weight loss journey with intermittent fasting, OMAD, or does it matter what method of weight loss you've done? So I've been doing a lot of reflection and a lot of digging myself out of a deep, dark depression hole. And I realized the reason why things faltered on my journey was because I gave up on myself. I gave up on myself because I let outside situations dictate my inner world. I let circumstances make me think that I wasn't worthy enough. So when it comes to consistency, we must stay committed. And in order to stay committed, you must dig deeper. Commitment doesn't happen unless you are on a level of really starting to transform your self-approval, your self-love, and your self-belief. That's where that comes from. Because what we don't realize in life, we are always committed. And being committed and consistency are two in one same thing. When you are committed, you are consistent. But what I wanted to say was, when it comes to being committed, we are committed whether we like it or not. We're committed to anything. We're either committed to our success or we are committed to our failure. We are either committed to losing weight or we're committed to not losing weight. And that commitment shows up in your actions. And when you don't have the actions in line with the commitment where you want to go, that's where things can falter. So when I say you have to be committed, being committed comes from self-approval. You are not going to be committed to a journey if your reflection of yourself is a negative one. And that's what happened to me. I thought I wasn't worthy enough. I was struggling and I gave up. So I wasn't committed to the journey because I did not have that self-belief. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Thanks for being here. This will be a quick live stream. I just wanted to talk about all the mental work that I was working on. You're either committed to being happy or you're committed to being miserable. How you commit your time shows how you are committed to your success. So in order to find consistency, you got to find commitment. And in order to be committed, you got to work on self-love. You got to go deep down and work on self-approval. Because if you are in a situation where you have the emotions where you're not being self-approved of yourself and you're not liking yourself, you're going to go down a road subconsciously of self-sabotage. So it is important to really dig deep on why you are struggling with your journey on the overall. It's not just about doing the work. You do the work, but then you fall off track. Why do you fall off track? Because you're not going deep enough. You're not going on a deeper level. Success is 95% mindset, 5% strategy. If you do not have the right mindset, you will not have success. And that mindset comes and starts with your relationship with yourself. It starts with how you associate yourself in this world, how you view yourself. It comes with self-approval. Because in order to stay committed, that's a prerequisite to being consistent. And in order to be consistent, in order to be committed, you need to be able to understand that you have to sit with yourself and realize, why do you keep falling off? And it goes deeper to you not accepting where you are in your life. You may be, trying to find ways around it. Why do you turn to food? Why do you, thanks. Why do you turn to food? Why do you do these things? Why are these habits not in line with your goals? Because you are not becoming your goal. In order to become your goal, you have to accept yourself as you are, meaning that you have to find a way to self-approve. Self-approval is everything in life, because without self-approval, there's no commitment. And without commitment, there is no self-belief. That's what it comes down to. In order to believe in yourself, you need to practice loving yourself. You need to work on it. If you struggle with self-love like I do, if you struggle with destroying yourself because you have let outside circumstances convince you that you are not worthy, that's where you need to start. You need to start by working on that worth. And when people feel unworthy, that comes from a state of fear. So I was thinking, why are there some people in this world who deal with trauma and they come out fine, where other people, they get stuck into it? It's because they let the traumatic situation become ingrained in their subconscious mind, and they let that situation convince them of their lack of worth. And that's all related to this whole thing with consistency and commitment. So, yes, this is me 100%. I feel you. And this was me too. I'm literally right now I am committed to working myself out of it. Right now I am committed to moving forward in doing what I need to do, because when you're committed, you're going to do whatever you need to do to get you to your goal. And as I was saying earlier, when it comes to being committed, you are committed regardless whether you see it or not. That's what people don't understand. People are like, well, why am I not consistent? I struggle so much with consistency. You are consistent. You're just consistent with doing things that are not in line with your goals. So you are consistent with not counting your calories. You are consistent with eating unhealthy food. You are consistent with the habits that led you to where you are. So don't say you don't have consistency. You have consistency. It's a matter of flipping that consistency to be in line with your goals. And in order to have consistency, you need to have commitment. And again, you are either committed to your success or you're committed to your failure. You're either committed to staying the same, or you're committed to change. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. So recognize that. And in order to get that commitment, you have to start with self-love. You have to start with bringing light to the fear within you that is preventing you from going where you want to go in life. And that's what I've been doing. When we talk about the mental side of things and depression can be turned around by facing your fear. When you face your fear, you start to go to higher levels of emotion, higher levels of frequency. And another emotion I want to talk about is anger. Anger is a tricky one because anger can either sabotage you or anger can progress you. You can use anger in a way that progresses you. Be angry or frustrated about your situation enough where it makes you want to change. Hello, Fugo Mama. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you here. Thank you for being here. Be angry enough that it motivates you to want to do better for yourself. Now, you don't want to depend on anger entirely. We want to go to those higher level emotions like compassion for yourself, like love for yourself. All these higher emotions is what will get you through. And I was trying to see why I was successful on my weight loss journey before, because I would focus on meditating on those higher emotions. I would focus on being my biggest cheerleader. I would focus on approving myself regardless of the circumstances that are facing me. So I just want you to say, weight loss is not a consistency problem. It's a mindset problem. It's about shifting things around. And we got to start with the self-love journey. And that journey begins with facing the fear. It's not easy. I'm personally doing it through EMDR right now. And right now I'm doing it through journaling, and I'm making a lot of notes, just listening to people like Bob Proctor. I recently downloaded this audiobook. I forget who it was. What's his name? On the different levels of consciousness. This all ties in. Like, I feel like my channel might transform into a manifestation channel because I'm pretty much there. Because I realize you cannot manifest a desire in your life if you are not loving yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't believe in yourself. If there is no self-belief, if there's no love, self-love, there is no self-belief. And without self-belief, you will not be committed. So what I noticed when I've been like working with people, a lot of people, like what happens with people with like me, my situation, I lost the weight, but that weight loss was temporarily for about a year and a bit because I was still dealing with those demons. I was at my lowest weight And I was still saying I was not worthy enough. I was still wanting more. No matter what I did was not good enough. So I need to face that, because if I do not process that, I'm just going to lose the weight again, but I'm going to either gain it or it's going to transition into something else. Dr. David Hawkins talks about this, the frequencies. He's like, every thought, every emotion, every belief has frequency. When we change your vibration, you change your reality. And that's the key. And the highest vibration that you can use to change your reality is love, is loving yourself. And it starts with loving yourself within, because when you love yourself within, you're going to be so full of that emotion that you want to share it with other people. You want to help other people. And that is my thing, because going through the dark nights of the soul, I want to help people get out of it too, but I won't be able to help anyone unless I help myself, which is exactly what I'm doing. So taking full ownership of where you are in your life and where you want to go. So taking full ownership is recognizing the habits that you are doing that are limiting you from going to your goal. Because at the end of the day, everything we do is habits. Everything we do is habits. Our habits dictate our life. So it's the key is to switch our habits around. So how do we switch our habits around? Work on our mindset. Monitor the conversation in our heads. What are we telling ourselves? Are we telling ourselves we can't do it? Are we belittling ourselves because we're at a certain weight and, we're putting ourselves down? No, you need to forgive yourself for what you've done when you were in a situation of fear. There's a quote that talks about it. I forgive myself for all the habits I developed in survival mode, and that is me. I totally forgive myself for all the habits I developed last year because I was in survival mode. I was in a state of fear. I was in a state of panic. I was in a state of vulnerability and not realizing my power. And that's the thing. When you are in that state, you got to be careful, because you might attract people who will take advantage of that. And that has happened to me on several levels. They will take advantage of that and manipulate you to their own desires. So it's really important to be so sound with yourself to prevent any outside sources from hurting you. Hey, Cheyenne, welcome to the live stream. Why are we worried? Why are we beautiful? Thank you so much. Thank you. Please hit the like button, guys. I'm gonna have to go in about 10 minutes, but I want to keep talking about this because I want to, I've been working on this so much. I've been making notes and notes of just things while listening to Bob Proctor. Right now, I download the audiobook from Dr. David Hawkins, who's a psychiatrist who talks about these higher levels of frequency and talks about how depression is the emotion that gets it stuck in depression is shame. That is the worst emotion one can go through. And the people who go through trauma, a lot of them are shameful. And when you're shamed, there's hopelessness. And when there's hopelessness, you get stuck in despair. But there is opportunity in that deep, dark moment to transform that to higher levels of frequency, which is what I'm doing. Last year was a mess. It was a mess. Right now, my life is a mess. But I'm refusing to let my current circumstances make me believe that I am not worthy enough for change. I'm refusing to let my current circumstances dictate my ability to come out of this. So it's really about building that mindset, and building that mindset starts with self-love. It's starting to approve yourself, starting to forgive yourself for all the things you've done to get you where you are. So I'm just going to tie this back to the live stream and link up everything. So in order to be consistent, you need to be committed. And in order to be committed, you need to have self-belief in yourself. And in order to have self-belief, you need to have self-love. That is where it comes from. It has to come from a loving place. It needs to come from a place where you are being self-compassionate. And self-love does not mean not being truthful. Trust me, when you are on a journey to self-love, you are facing all the truths. You are facing everything. That is it. Self-love is action. Self-love is going to the deep part of yourselves, sitting with them, because a lot of us want to run away from it, and bringing compassion with it. At first, it's going to be hard. You're going to feel all the anxiety. It's going to come out all in the body. You're going to feel the depression. You're going to feel the despair. But eventually, you'll get to a point where you want that transformation happens, that the calm feelings calm down. And when you address it and you bring attention to it, that's where things transform. So yeah, I got my journal here. I'm walking around with this everywhere right now, and I'm sitting in the car and I'm making notes. And the way that I'm getting myself out of this, and I'm learning how to reconnect with the love within, is that I'm learning from the greats. Again, I posted these shorts. I'll be posting them daily. The Code of Persistence. I love it. I will read it out for you right now. Eventually, I want to keep writing it until I get it in my head. But number one, The Code of Persistence is a book by Harold Sherman, which I'm going to get, on how to turn failure into success. I got these ideas from this book by listening to Les Brown's Greatest Hits. Number one, I will never give up for as long as I know I'm right. That's key. For as long as you know you're right. Do not let outside forces convince you that you are not right. So for example, with intermittent fasting and OMAD, and there's a disclaimer here. OMAD is literally just eating all your calories in a short amount of window. That's all it is. It's compressing your calories. It's a form of intermittent fasting. And the reason why it's used, it's to help push out certain biological benefits and stuff. But anyway, let's go back to the Code of Persistence. I will never give up for as long as I know I'm right. Number two, I believe that all things will work out for me if I hang out to the end. I love this. 3, I will be courageous and undismayed in the face of odds. So undismayed basically is, I changed it to my Instagram bio. It means that you are going to continue forward in the face of setbacks. You're not going to let setbacks hold you back. 4, I will not permit anybody to intimidate me or deter me from my goals. This is something I'm going to say every day. I will not permit anyone to intimidate me or deter me from my goals. Do not let other people's limiting beliefs prevent you from moving forward. Whatever people say, that is on them. You have to really develop a sense of self, a strong sense of self to get through all of this. Number 5, I will fight to overcome all physical handicaps and setbacks. This one I can highly relate to. I just went from an appointment to my doctor. I just saw him. We're still dealing with my hip, my multiple injuries from the car accident. Knee, much better. I rehabbed that knee. Got tons of muscle. Hip, we're working on. And my SI joint, we're going to go put in some injections in there just to help me through. But I will fight to overcome this. And I will listen to myself and what I want to do. A lot of people would be like, well, don't do this, don't do that. I know what is best for me in this moment because I'm learning how to approve of myself and I'm reconnecting with myself. Number 5, I will fight to overcome. Oh, I said that. Number 6, I will try again and again and yet again to accomplish what I desire. Never give up. Have that attitude of persistence. Persistence will get you through. Determination is one of the most beautiful things you can have. And I once had someone tell me that what is determination? That is nothing. That is coming from someone who is on a lower, oops. Of course I dropped the phone. That's coming from a lower mindset. I'm not better than anybody. We are all equally the same. We are all on this journey to work on our higher consciousness. Thank you. Next, number 6, I will try again. Okay, number 7, I will take new faith and resolution from the knowledge that all successful men and women had to fight to defeat adversity. You gotta, it's true. To find success, you gotta go through adversity. And that's where the persistence comes in. That's where the determination comes in. And that's where building that mindset of steel. And in order to build that mindset of steel, you have to have that foundation of self-love. What am I doing for time here? 26. Number 8, I will never surrender to discouragement or despair, no matter what seeming obstacles are in front of me. So no matter what obstacle is in front of you, move forward. And in order to do that, we got to build that mindset of steel. And in order to start that, it all starts with self-love. So in order to stay consistent, you need to stay committed. In order to be committed, you need to be in a state of self-belief. And in order to believe in yourself, you need to start with loving yourself. Because we are either committed to moving forward or we are committed to staying the same. We are committed to losing the weight or we're not committed. And your commitment comes out in your action. It's all about your actions. And in order to get to a point of commitment where you're committing to your success, You need to be committed to learning how to re-love yourself. And the process of self-love, this is the biggest mistake I made, is a process that is continuing. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when I reach my goal. It continues and it continues. Anyway, I have to go to my appointment. Thank you for joining me. I wish I had this live stream longer because I have a lot that I want to talk about. I've been on TikTok talking about this all, mindset shifts and everything, because that is why weight loss is a struggle. Wow, that truck almost hit me, but God is good. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.